we know that 90% of day traders are struggling to become profitable. And many of these struggling traders have high lofty goals of getting rich or getting rich quick or having $50,000 trading days, which is great. But there's another path that you can take that can get you to some money a lot faster. So rather than having high lofty rich goals that 90% of people can achieve, you can have a much smaller goal where you're just trying to make a living. All right. You're not trying to get rich. You're just trying to make a living. What if you can do like I just did, where the market opened up on Sunday and I made 417, I snatched it off. Then a few hours later, I made 398 at 3 a.m. and I snatched it off. Then 12 hours after that, all right, I caught a 20-point rally-based rally, which you'll see later. Stay to the end of this video. And I made 1342 on that. And then about 6 hours later than that, okay, I made 676 and I was snatching money off as I was going. So what I'm saying is there's another way, there's another business model that you can implement that can be implemented within 30 days of less, that it's not going to make you rich right away. But what if you could start to make a living in the next 30 days? Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about in this video. See, I talk about things like this in my free guide, Finally Funded. So if you want that free guide, just comment below, give me the guide, and I'll get that to you right away. So guys, what I want to do is share my trading business model with you, because again, hey, getting rich is great, right? But making a living right now, when I need it right now, is awesome. Let me tell you, okay? I'm not rich, but I have my business set up in a way where that my trading business can make me a living. And I'm okay with that. I'm good with that. Because here's the thing. If you can just make a living long enough, you will get rich. But setting that rich goal right out the gate is how a lot of traders fail. All right. So let's talk about the business model, right? How can you begin to make a living, right, in the next 30 to 60 days? We're going to answer that right now. So what you're going to have to do is everything that I've done, right, for my business, I've looked at it as a business, right? And I'm looking at overhead, I'm looking at expenses. I'm trying to keep them as little, as low as possible, okay? So when you start off in the futures market, if you're going to trade the futures, I trade the ES mini or also trade the micros. If you're going to trade in the futures market, you got two options, in my opinion. You can start with your own capital, right? Or you can go through a prop firm. But if you start with your own capital, in my opinion, you need 5 to 10 grand minimum. You need 5 to 10 grand to make any money that you're going to be happy with. Okay. So what I did for my business, instead of putting up my own capital, I went through a prop firm. I went with Take Profit Trader, their prop firm. I grabbed a 100K account. It was less than $200. Okay. So that's the option, right? I could go with $200, have 100K worth of buying power, right? And save my 5 grand. Why put my 5 grand at risk when I can just take this shot for $200, right? I could try to put myself in position to have a cash flowing business for just $200 overhead, just for a $200 shot. You know what I'm saying? So that's the route I chose to go. Now, I will say, unless you're a seasoned trader, have a solid system like our price action trader system that we use, you may not pass the challenge on the first go, right? It may cost you more than 200. Let's just say it takes you 3-4 times. Hey, it may take you $1,000. Let's just be realistic. It may take you $1,000 to finally pass the challenge, right? Now, let's stick with our 100K account. You get a 100K account. To pass the challenge, you have to make $6,000 in profit, all right? Actually, not a lot, right? Since if you can trade minis, ES, that's $6,000. It can come real fast, all right? So that's the first hurdle, right? That's the first hurdle. You get a prop firm, you got to make $6,000. That's the first hurdle you got to get through. But just think about that. You're taking this shot for just $200, right? So you only, hey, $200. If it takes you $1,000 to pass, oh well, right? You didn't spend $5,000 nor put your $5,000 at risk, all right? So let's say you pass the funded challenge, right? Now this is Take Profit Trader, which is prop firm I use. They have quite a few benefits. This is the first one, right? After you pass the challenge, you don't have to worry about any overhead anymore. What I mean by that is most prop firms will charge a monthly fee. For instance, if it costs me $200 to take that challenge and in 30 days I haven't passed, well, I have to pay another $200. Well, with Take Profit Trader, if you pass the challenge, you don't have the fee anymore. Now, I know with a lot of other prop firms, even after you pass, you still have to pay a monthly fee. So Take Profit Trader, compared to any other prop firm that's still charging you fees after you pass the challenge, you're going to come out cheaper with Take Profit Trader. Your overhead is going to be lower, right? You're not going to be paying monthly fees out plus losing, 20% of your profits. So again, everything that I've done is strategic for running a business efficiently, keeping as much money as I can in my pocket, paying as little money as I can in fees, right? And risking as little of my own money as possible. So I love this business model, okay? I love the prop firm business model for day traders. It's the way to go. So we've passed the challenge, all right? We've made the 6,000. We now have no monthly over our head, right? We've already lowered our overhead. And so now the next goal is on a 100K account. We're sticking with this 100K account example. Now you got to get past a $3,000 buffer. All right. So everything above the $3,000, okay, starts to be your check, starts to be your ability to withdraw daily. You keep 80%, Take Profit keeps 20. Not bad. Remember we started with real little capital to get this thing going, right? Now, here's the thing. I want to warn you right now. Once you pass the challenge, the rules change a little bit. Now they have what they call intraday drawdown. So it's not that you just have to be above a certain level by the end of the day. It's factored on unrealized profits. So if you go up $2,000, don't lock in and come back $2,000. It's like losing $2,000. You could easily blow your account if you're not watching this, okay? So the best thing to do after you've been funded to get to that 3,000 goal, hey, just lock in profits. You get up, snatch it. You get up, lock in. You get up, lock in. Don't give money back at this point in the game, okay? If you got to take small base hits, 200, 300, 500, 600, do that. You know what I'm saying? It's better to take the small base hits. Don't have to worry about the intraday. Make it to 3,000 and then boom, all right? Now, so step one, you picked the prop firm, you went with 100K account, you passed, you made the 6,000, you're funded. Step two, you got to the buffer, all right? You made 3,000, you're at the buffer. At this point, you've made $9,000. Now, this is where a lot of people will start taking money. Shouldn't do that. I'm gonna explain why. And this is how I have my business set up so that I can take daily profits. Every time I win, I can just snatch the money. And this is a big piece to that. After you get through the buffer, what I suggest you do is add another buffer of at least $1,000, right? So your account balance will actually be at 104,000. Then everything over that 4,000, you snatch it. You make it, you snatch it. You make it, you snatch it. Daily, twice a day, whenever you make it, you snatch it. And see, that $1,000 buffer allows you to do that. Because let's say you just stayed at 3,000. Well, if you have a couple losses, you can't take a withdrawal because you're back in their buffer now. You got to stay above 3,000 to take any money out. So when you add another layer of 1,000 of your own buffer, now you're at 4,000. Let's say you make 500. All right, you already got that 500 in your own buffer. You can take that withdrawal right then, snatch it off. Let's go. Your balance will drop back to 104. Let's do it again. All right. So by adding that $1,000 buffer, it reminds me of when I was in corporate America. All right. I was in corporate America. I was a district manager. I had 12 locations. Each store had a cash register, right? In a cash drawer. In the cash drawer, we kept $200, right? At the end of the day, everything over the $200 went to the bank, right? And then our $200 buffer stayed in the register for the next day. So that's what I've created in the trading arena by partnering with Take Profit Trader. I now have that cash business where, all right, I got a buffer of 1,000 that stays in the drawer. Everything above that buffer, everything above my buffer and their buffer, now that's profit. So at the end of my trading day, if I'm up 1,200, I snatch it. At the end of my trading day, if I'm up 800, I snatch it. I really should say at the end of my session, because I may trade 3-4 different sessions a day. And if I'm up, I'm snatching it. So now you can see how in a short period of time, right, you can sign up with a prop firm, pass a funded challenge, get to the buffer, get to your own buffer, then everything over that is profit, right? And now you can start to make a living, taking that 417, getting that $1,300 hit, snatching it off immediately. That's where it's at. That's where it's at. And I gave you a lot of good tips to be able to pass a funded challenge and my free guide finally funded. Just comment, give me the guide below, and I will send that to you. But that is the business model, okay? That's the business model. You can get here. You can do this in under a month time. I mean, I pass challenges in 7-8 days a lot of times, and then get to your buffer. This can be done, all right? Now, you want fast money? Here's a way to get to fast money. If you have the skill set, this can be done in a short amount of time. You get through all the buffers, and every time you see green, you take the money, and before you know it, you are making a living. I mean, I made over $2,500. It was $2,800 in like 24 hours. That's making a living in any country you're in, okay? Any country you are in. So I'm going to show the trade example now. And in this trade example, it was actually the exact trade that made me that 1342.50 that we took out at 3 a.m. in the morning the other day. And all this was a classic one of our price action setups. It was a rally-based rally, and the thing went for 20 points. It was awesome. So that's what we'll show today in the trade example. All right, so we're gonna roll that tape, and I'll be back. All right, y'all, here it is. Here it is. We're trying to make a rally-based rally for the 20-point win. Right, edit. I'm not gonna do nothing. I ain't gonna do nothing. I'm gonna lock in a little bit more down here. But we about to get this 20-point win. Come on now, let's get it done. Come on now, get it done. Let's get it done. Let's get it done. Come on. Rally-based rally. 20-point win. Let's get it done.
Target filled.
There it is. All right. So now we'll see if my add-on makes it to the target. We're going to move up, lock in tight, just in case. All right, man. That candle was going in our favor, and now has turned aggressively. So we've already made 1,000, and on this we're gonna book at least 300. So we'll make 13. We'll make 1,300 on this trade.
Stop filled.
1356 actually. All right, great trade. So I really hope this will help you see that you can have large goals of being rich, but there's some smaller goals of just making a living that could really make a difference in your life today, right now, right this minute, okay? And I share a lot of tips on how to do that in my free guide, finally funded. Just comment below, give me the guide. I will send that to you. And if you want to learn more, price action tactics, check this video out right here. Till next time, my name is JD, and as always, I wish you increase on the sudden. Bye-bye.